Hello everybody, this is Stephen Whitfield with Drilling Contractor, and we are at the offices of Wild Well Control in Houston, Texas, where IADC's Drilling Engineers Committee just held its Q1 2026 Tech Forum. They hold these things every quarter. We hear a lot of interesting insights about some of the new, latest sort of things in the drilling engineering space. And with me right now is Rob Blue of AI Driller. He gave a presentation and was a surprise panelist here, fill-in panelist at the forum here. He gave a lot of interesting talks about AI, and so we're going to talk to him about that. So, Rob, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
First question I have, we hear AI in drilling all the time. And a lot of the talk about it seems a little bit ethereal. And we're talking about just sort of concepts and maybe Gen AI stuff where you're looking at documents and sort of processing language, right? But for a company, a drilling contractor that might be looking at boosting performance, they might be looking at investing in an AI platform, why should they do that? Why invest in AI to help with your performance?
That's a good question too, and I know that a lot of folks are, again, you look at AI right now and there's a lot of concepts of it, there's a lot of misconceptions about what AI actually is and what it does, but really the truth of the matter is, we have several industry experts, we have all the oil and gas executives. I think by 2030 there was a study that about 70 to 75% want AI in their workflow in some capacity. Now what that means, we're here to find out. But for me, I think that investing in AI really helps bridge that gap of knowledge, because we're on the precipice of what has been known as the Great Crew Change for years now, and that's a gulf of knowledge that is leaving the industry. It's tribal knowledge that's walking out of the door, and these junior engineers and these folks that may not have as much experience need that supplement. So what the AI is actually able to do is it doesn't replace that. We don't want to replace engineers with a mediocre algorithm, but what it does is it enables that workflow. It enables those tools. It enables good engineers to be great. It enables good developers to be great. And that's really where I think the investment can come from.
So for companies that are looking to invest, trying to get started on this, what are the questions that they need to be asking themselves before they make that decision?
So for me, I think there's 4 critical questions that anybody even starting to look into AI investment needs to consider. And I call them the 4 core questions. The first question is the general filter. It filters out a lot of things that may just be supplemental things or technology first. The first question is, what is the problem we need to solve? And how can we solve it? If it's a problem that is well known, well established, well documented, that is a good starting point. But if someone comes to you and says, well, I have an AI solution or AI technology, it may not have a direct problem to solve, but it's really, really nice and really shiny, that's not necessarily something that is good to go down. The second big question is, can you do your work right now with the manual data as is? If you can't, there's no AI that can solve that. That is a fundamental data architecture problem. The next big question that you want to ask is, does this replace workflows, or does it supplement my workflows? If the solution that is being presented to you or that you're looking into requires you to do a completely refactor of your entire workflow or a completely refactor of your data infrastructure, that's not a good starting point, because what you want to do is you want to integrate and you want to really enhance your workflow. And finally, one of the big questions that you want to ask is, can my solution actually solve the problem, but more importantly, is there a success metric that I can actually measure it against? Because you can have these really good concepts, but if there's no way to actually measure the success from where you are now to where you are going, then you can't really see if it's a successful implementation or not.
So AI Driller obviously has its own offerings. We've written about them in our magazine. So you have experience with sort of implementing this stuff with company workflows. So what are some of the, maybe roadblock isn't the right word, challenges that you kind of see when you're going to actually taking that step of, okay, we're going to implement this stuff, we're going to integrate it with the company's workflow, with their interfaces? What do you see?
So one of the big challenges that we run into is, I use this saying quite a bit, and people that are familiar with me are kind of tired of me saying it, but it's true, is that our biggest challenge and our biggest roadblocks and biggest competition is not other companies, it's tradition. It's trying to convince operators and service companies and contractors to implement new technology, to get away from the same thing they've been doing for 30, 40 years. So that's not a unique challenge that especially in the service industry has, but what I've found is that we help convince operators, contractors, service companies, whoever we want to work with, that we're not really there to replace anything. The thing that AI Driller specifically excels at, and this is something that we really highlight, is we are that glue that connects really all the different workflows. It's, we're AI Driller, but we also do things with regulatory. We're in completions now, obviously drilling, and we're getting into production. The thing that we've been noticing, especially in this industry, is that everything is very siloed. When you move from operation to operation, you lose this context, this latency. Well, what we really kind of help enable is connecting all of that. Whenever you have your data from your well planning, well, you don't lose any latency when you move that into your actual drilling operations. You don't lose anything when you move from drilling into completions, and finally when you produce. All that data is now streamlined and connected in one seamless flow. And that is really the core aspect of really what we want to do, and that really enables our entire industry for AI.
So cutting latency, turning real time into actual real time.
Actual real time.
Yes. Actual real time. Well, that's music to, I think, a lot of people's ears, I would think. Okay, well, Rob, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to us. We really do appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
And thank you for visiting drillingcontractor.org.